Alright, what's up guys? It has been a little while. If you are returning, I am sorry for the delay. If you're new to the channel, this is all about running and creating content around running. So without further ado, what are we doing today? This is the DJI OSMO Pocket. It's pretty baller. You can see there it is warming itself up. Yeah, I'm here to figure out if this is the best vlogging camera for a runner. Now, obviously the DSLR and that whole setup is definitely the best setup for those of you who are simple vloggers, but if you're one of the other kind of people out there that, is doing your vlogging based around a sport, or running obviously is for me. Yeah, so is this the best vlogging camera for a running channel? I've seen a lot of things about the new GoPro. It seems to have pretty good reviews. According to the new software update, this thing has much better audio. You can get into the Pro, basically as close as it gets to manual settings on the camera without using the phone attachment. That would have been a sinker for me, but we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna take it for a run. We're gonna do about 3-4 miles. I'm gonna see how this goes. So let's go for a run. All right, so I guess the number one thing about a running camera, how well does it perform while you're running, right? How steady is it while you're running? Is the gimbal really working? Apparently the in-camera stabilization on the GoPro is pretty amazing. And I've seen a lot of comparisons between this and the GoPro. And I think they both kind of come out the same, I'd say. I think the audio is a bit better on this, but this will be a good test to see whether that holds up. Nothing's gonna be as good as, having a shotgun mic right on there, but again, this is not the general vlogger, this is the running vlogger. So hopefully the audio sounds pretty good the way it is now. Number two concern might be the crop. I don't know how much, how close it'll be, how cropped in it'll be on my face, basically. I'm not making too much sense. So yeah, number two, crop factor. I think it's a 20mm lens. It's probably a micro sensor, so yeah, it's not gonna be super wide like a GoPro. So that could be one of the downfalls. I'm just getting into this. Hopefully it's not too shaky. Alright, so another thing I want to say that I really like about it so far is that it stands up on its own when you're not using the phone attachment, obviously. It stands up on its own, so like at the beginning of the shot, like I can just set it up on any relatively even platform and it should hold its own. Granted, if the wind doesn't knock it over or something along those lines. Another concern that I won't be able to really, listen to until I get back is the wind, how much of a factor that plays a role with the two microphones. There's one on the front, one on the bottom. So another thing to check into and follow up with. I took a little break on the run. I'm about 2.5 miles in. I just wanted to test how much that works. So it looks like the face tracking works from about 10 meters or so. I think if you had like someone else kind of giving you a hand or something, which is never the case for me, you could have someone like set it up so that it tracks your whole body, maybe as you round corners. Something I'm gonna have to experiment with a little bit more. Another thing I wanted to say is that in 1080p, you can shoot up to 60. When you switch to slow motion, it has a very similar crop on it, similar to like the 4K crop, which is pretty hard to do if you're shooting handheld. So if you're gonna be like vlogging with it, it's gonna be pretty hard if you ever want to shoot in 4K. But if you're shooting like B-roll stuff, you could obviously do it in 4K. Sometimes the crop is even better. That dog's not happy with me. All right, I'm gonna get back to it. Got like 2 miles left to go. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so first run out there with the DJI OSMO Pocket. Initial review, steadiness. Super duper steady. As you can see from some of the footage, like if you look at some of my previous videos and then look at this one, super steady. And that's at like an 8:15 pace. You can hear me kind of trotting along. That really impressed me. Some things that I think I may need to look into: audio. It has kind of a tube, almost like a tubey kind of audio that comes in and out here and there. I don't know if that's a software update. I have seen a lot of videos saying that there's been a software update and boom, now the audio sounds great. So that might be something that I need to look into as in terms of my first time out. One thing I thought was pretty cool is the face tracking is pretty darn good. It was tracking me up until probably about 15 feet away. So granted, it's not going to track you across a field, but when it comes to vlogging with it handheld, out in front of you, it should do pretty darn well with your face. As you can see, I put it down one time and started walking away and went side to side, and I thought it tracked me pretty darn well. Additionally, things I wanted to talk about is it's so tiny. It really is. It really is, when it comes to being handheld, especially compared to the DJI OSMO that I had prior. This is so incredibly portable. When I run with my Ultra Pack, the Nathan Pack on, I can see this going, right in that shoulder pouch, right like kind of outside the pec, and phone on the other side, and I'll have everything I need when I'm doing any sort of a long trail run or anything when it comes to creating content and capturing that content and footage. Overall, my first impressions, I would say, are this is totally perfect for the vlogger, the running vlogger that also has an intention of creating a cinematic style of video. Aside from that, I'll kind of wrap up the video. Just wanted to say, there's a couple new things about the channel as well. I've worked a lot on creating kind of a brand and a lot of branding. A lot of my lower thirds and titles are now going to be branded in the exact same way, with my logo included, with some After Effects transitions that I've been building that I spent a lot of time on. So hopefully that creates a little bit more of something that you can expect every time you come back to one of my videos. Like the bug in the corner, I think it's top left right now, or your top right. My top left. That's like something that I worked on. It's going to be there every time, and I think it just adds a certain level of professionalism to the channel. So those are things to look forward to. Definitely more to come on the DJI OSMO Pocket. Like always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe if you are a runner or you got a running channel. I know this is quite the community. So if you got any feedback, maybe you went with the GoPro, maybe you're looking into the DJI OSMO Pocket, let me know your thoughts. And yeah, moving forward from here, looking forward to 2019, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao for now.